In September 2025, Hack Club, a global nonprofit supporting tens of thousands of teenagers, received an unexpected invoice from Slack. The platform demanded a sudden $50,000 payment and pushed a new contract that spiked their costs by 40 times. When Hack Club pushed back, they were threatened with the deletion of over a decade of community history. The situation eventually required public intervention to resolve, but it proved to the sector that an enterprise discount is at the mercy of the vendor. Around the same time, Slack introduced a policy change to their free tiers. Any message or file older than 1 year is now permanently deleted from the servers, and well before that 1-year mark hits, any message older than 90 days is hidden behind a strict paywall, completely inaccessible unless the organization upgrades to a paid account. These aggressive billing and data retention policies have turned a platform that many groups relied on as a digital commons into a serious operational and financial trap. The core issue comes down to structure. Corporate software is built to accommodate a predictable, static roster of full-time employees. Nonprofits operate completely differently. They rely on fluid networks of part-time supporters, event staff, and seasonal volunteers who cycle in and out based on program needs. Slack's per-user billing model actively punishes this structure. If you are charged for every individual account that touches your workspace, your software costs scale alongside your volunteer base. To prevent their monthly invoices from exploding, staff are forced to constantly police the system, hunting down and deactivating dormant volunteer accounts. It adds hours of administrative friction to the exact people who should be focused on the mission. Organizations eventually hit a breaking point where they must choose: accept crippling software costs or move to a platform designed for volunteer scaling. Consider an organization bringing on 500 seasonal volunteers for a summer program using a corporate platform. Even with an 85% discount, a per-user fee for 500 volunteers generates thousands in monthly charges. The alternative is centralizing profiles in Highbox. This requires a one-time migration of existing records. Once complete, you can add 1,000 volunteers without unpredictable massive invoices. Paying a monthly per-user fee for an unpaid workforce creates a ceiling on an organization's growth. When teams try to dodge those fees by relying on free corporate chat tiers for volunteer onboarding, they take on a different kind of risk. The permanent deletion policies on those free tiers systematically wipe out an organization's institutional memory. In a mission-driven context, message history serves as a formal record of background check consents, safety orientations, and volunteer handovers. Losing that data makes producing a multi-year audit trail nearly impossible. You can eliminate this risk entirely by using Highbox's built-in learning management system and compliance tools. This setup automatically tracks background check consent and assigns mandatory training modules based entirely on the volunteer's specific role. The trade-off here is setup time. Staff must sit down and build out the training catalog and roles within the platform before it can run on its own. But purpose-built compliance tools protect your funding. When grant renewal season arrives, you can pull a funder-ready compliance report in minutes, rather than hoping the evidence wasn't deleted from a chat server. A lack of unified software usually results in a fragmented workflow. Shift schedules live in Google Sheets, outreach happens over email, and coordination drops into text messages. This creates a heavy administrative burden. Staff spend their week manually cross-referencing names, copying contact info, and updating availability across 3 different systems. Because manual coordination is prone to errors, text messages get missed and reminder emails are forgotten. The direct result is high volunteer no-show rates and severe burnout for the staff trying to keep it all together. Managing logistics through Highbox's unified volunteer management module consolidates this work. The platform handles the shift scheduling and automatically distributes reminder emails to the roster. Getting to this point means organizations have to break old habits and force their team to adopt a completely new digital workflow. The initial friction of learning a new interface pays off when staff reclaim a dozen hours of administrative time a week and see their volunteer turnout rates stabilize. Tools like Slack and generic CRMs were originally designed to track corporate sales leads and enterprise engineering teams. They simply lack the architecture for grant reporting and program management. We can map the software landscape by comparing the financial cost of scaling a team against the depth of actual nonprofit features provided. Corporate chat platforms land in the high-cost, low-depth quadrant. Disconnected spreadsheets sit in the low-cost, low-depth quadrant, practically free but entirely manual. If you are running a small, informal community group with zero budget and no legal compliance mandates, a free platform like Discord is a valid alternative. But relying on a patchwork of generic tools or gaming chat apps is an active risk for formal organizations that manage actual programs and answer to funders. Highbox for Nonprofits maps directly into the high-depth, efficient cost quadrant. It removes the dual threats of corporate data deletion and per-user billing extortion. It combines program outcomes and volunteer scheduling and compliance training into a unified environment. Transitioning your operations to a new software system takes focus and effort, but doing so resolves the structural friction of scaling your workforce, letting your team put their energy back into the mission. Secure your operational future. Book a demo or start a free trial today at highbox.co.